Hello, everyone. Welcome back to ASWP, another shitty wrestling podcast. I'm Jay, here with my good friend.
Billy.
We are just wrapping up watching um, WWE for the week, and we are going to give you our thoughts over the wrestling we've seen this week. And it may be a bit different from each other because I lacked a bit on Tuesday and Wednesday this week.
Yeah, and I watched on Tuesday and Wednesday, so I don't usually. So it's gonna be real interesting to see how it differs since we watched different stuff.
For sure. So I'll let you lead off with your number 3 match of the week.
I think I'm gonna start with the worst.
All right, sounds good. What is your third? Your bottom 3, starting with your third.
My third is I was gonna have it at 1, but then I realized it would be in bad taste considering it was a memorial match. It's the 8 women tag match from Wednesday night's AEW.
Mm,
None of it whatsoever felt natural at all.
was it just a whole bunch of nothing happening, or was it just not good?
It's not a lot happening, and then they all took turns kicking each other. If it was not a memorial match, it would have definitely been first worst.
That's totally fair. My third least favorite was the Kofi Kingston and Kaiser match. Just not really anything they did wrong. It's just what happened last week with Kaiser and Vinci and Kobe and Jay. Just, I don't know. It's just got a bad taste in my mouth, for lack of a better word. But that's really it. It's not really any digs on them. They did good work. It's just, My number 2 was the women's tag championship rematch from Monday. It was pointless, and they jumped the number 1 contenders in line. So what was the point of the number 1 contenders match? Why are we doing any of this?
Spoiler alert.
Why do they book these belts so bad, dude?
I don't know, but that's my number 1. So
Oh. Okay, what's your number 2 then?
My number 2 is Nikita Lyons versus Blair Davenport from Tuesday night.
Oh, really? Why is that?
It did nothing for me. I get why people would want to watch it. I get it totally. It just didn't do it for me.
Fair enough.
It was a 6-minute match at the most. It's just too quick to be the opening match of to set the tone.
Fair enough. All right. Well, since I spoiled your number 1, I'll give you my number 1, which it isn't really a match. It's just really something. It's the one thing I know for sure happened Wednesday. Wednesday. When Jericho came out to make the save, and they just continued to play his theme song so no one could boo him.
Had real anarchy in the arena feel to that.
That was the absolute worst thing I've seen this week. Like,
I get it.
Even outside of allegations, whatever they may be or may not be, that is just, it feels cheap. It does. I'm sorry. Just don't put him on TV for a couple weeks until you sort it out or whatever you're going to do. If you're going to do anything, that ain't it, in my opinion.
I won't say anything. It's not. Yeah.
Say I can't speak to it because I don't know if there's any truth to it, but given the situation, at the very least, whether anything happened or not, doing that paints a really rough picture in my mind.
Yeah, it's not a great look.
Anywho, let's get on a better track.
I do want to point out one more thing, though.
Oh, shoot, go for it.
Shayna and Zoe aren't even the number 2 contenders, apparently.
Oh, yeah. They're not.
Unless they're having the match on Monday, which I don't know.
Yeah, say we have a few. We have like
advertisement for it.
We have Gunther coming back. We have Cody leading off the show, apparently. We got
the world title match between Seth and Jinder.
True, that'll be the main event, likely. And then the Judgment Day Truth DIY stuff. So I don't know. There's 3 hours of show there. They might find some room for it. But
it's possible, but I feel like I would advertise that if I was advertising it for next week's SmackDown. So
why would you advertise the women's tag title?
they're doing it for next Friday. Why wouldn't they?
I don't know, dude. I don't know. Anyway, on a better track, what is your third favorite match of the week and why?
In the worst category, I called something out for being too short, and I couldn't get into it, but this match was too short, but I was very into it. It is Otis versus Ivar.
Big meaty men slapping meat.
So good. I mean, what Jay said. What was your number 3?
Sorry. I can't help it. I love both those guys. I think they work very well. Anywho, my number 3 is your main event for Monday Night Raw, Cody versus Shinsuke, in a street fight that never left the area around the ring. That didn't make any sense to me. They worked good. It was some good spots. I enjoyed it very much. I'm very glad that Cody's on the whatever's next, whether it's WrestleMania 42 or 43.
Just skipping over 41.
My luck, I don't know. Stone Cold will come back and fight Roman Reigns. I don't know.
You know, it's possible at this point. Who knows?
Anyway.
What was your number 2?
My number 2 was JD McDonough versus The Miz. For the same reason they were up there last week. It was fun. It was unserious in a good way. And I just love R-Truth, man. Ever since he's been back, he's like legitimately like so fucking great.
Pretty good.
But what's your number 2?
My number 2 is Cody versus Nakamura from Monday. For the same reasons you said. I mean,
man, it's like we like the same wrestling or something.
Right, it's crazy.
All right. Well, what's your number 1?
My number 1 is from Wednesday night, and it was Hangman Adam Page versus Claudio Castagnoli. This match freaking ruled. This is the way to open your show and keep everybody holding on for 2 hours. So good. Just so good.
Say I'll have to go back and catch it. I just need to start watching Dynamite, I guess, and see if I can get back into it. I was into it for a minute when it was
good.
It was really good for a minute.
It was.
But yeah. My favorite match of the week. This may be surprising, and I'm going to try to keep it super brief, but it's Bianca versus Bayley. Those two work really well together. They work really well off each other. They've clearly been doing this for a while together. They got some good chemistry, and the Bayley and Damage Control stuff it's going to be really good for like the next, I'd say 2 months, 2.5 months.
I think all the way up to WrestleMania. Why not?
Is that 2.5 months or is that 3 months?
I don't know why I said.
Buddy, I don't even know what day it is. It's fine.
Exactly.
I know it's Friday right now where we're recording.
SmackDown ended.
Yes. But no, the match was really good. I just really enjoy anytime they get to work together, because whether there's much build there is arguable, obviously, because it's Bianca and they can't book Bianca very well, it seems like, or at least the people that I've seen book her do not book her that well.
Yeah, it's strange, to say the least.
I don't know. I like her. I like Bayley. I'm really excited for what happens with Bayley and Damage Control. I feel like that's gonna be a slow burn, and I'm really excited for it. But yeah, I'll let you lead off with your top 10 wrestlers for the week. The ones that you're going to give those oh so precious points to.
My top 10. At number 10, I had R-Truth. Finally breaking into the top 10 for me. his whatever it was called on Monday, the video package, incredible. So funny. The baby Judgment Day.
That was hilarious.
At number 9, I had a combination. It's Tiffany Stratton and Fallon Henley. With Tiffany now being Fallon's ranch hand, they work very well together. Made some comedy gold on Tuesday night.
I love that.
At number 8, I have Drew McIntyre. At 7, I have CM Punk. They had a war of words on Monday, and it was really nice to see them finally face off in the ring. At number 6, I have Paul Heyman. The stuff he did on SmackDown, just trying to recruit anybody he could. That was amazing. At number 5, I have the brand new NXT North American champion, Oba Femi.
I seen that he cashed in a breakout contract, correct?
Yes, he did. Ooh. Yeah, so he won the tournament, and he could cash it in for I think it was a North American. I don't know if the NXT Championship is involved in that. Someone will correct me, I'm sure.
Yeah, I need to go back and watch that, but I saw the end of it, and I am very glad that you can actually cash something in WWE.
Yeah, it's weird.
I didn't think that you could do that.
It's something for sure. At number 4, you had it under your worst, but I really enjoyed Ludwig Kaiser losing his damn mind and just beating Kofi senseless. At number 3, I have Hangman Adam Page. Like I said earlier, his match with Claudio, one of the best I've seen from AEW on TV in a while. At number 2, I have another collection of superstars. Got Randy, LA Knight, and AJ Styles. They coexisted for one night, even though they may not like each other. It was nice to see them. At the end of the night, they all stuck together. And at number 1, I have Cody Rhodes. He won that big street fight, and that's why I have him at number 1.
Fair. My list is just a little bit different.
Just a little?
Just a little bit. At number 10, I chalked him in here before the match got stopped. So, disclaimer. But I wanted to give a nod to Carmelo Hayes. He doesn't look... him with Aldis and backstage and everything, and in the ring, he's hitting all the marks that I think he needs to make main roster.
Yeah, he's kind of halfway right now.
Right. So I'm really happy with that. I think that him and Shrek have to sort their stuff out before he gets moved over. I'd assume whenever they do the next draft is when he'll get moved up. But I don't know. But he's definitely well on his way, in my opinion. At number 9, I didn't group them together because I felt like most of the main event was just one guy versus the Judgment Day, because, I mean, that's what it felt like to me. So at 9, I have AJ Styles. I like the dynamic between him and Knight, him being mad that Knight took his title shot opportunity, worked with Cena. Whatever angle they're going for there, I really like that. I think it's going to be very good. Very much enjoyed it. At 8, I have Drew McIntyre. And at 7, CM Punk. Same reasons you said. I very much enjoyed it. I put them in the same place you did. So I think that ties it.
Perfect.
Obviously.
Yeah.
At 6, I have the man, R-Truth. And I already talked about him earlier. So I'm not gonna sing his praises twice in a row, but that's
I did it too. So
I love him.
Got it covered.
So good. Number 5. I put Bianca Belair.
Okay.
I thought she did exactly what she was supposed to do, and she did it well. And that's the most I've ever enjoyed a Bianca Belair match. So I thought I'd give her a nod and say, to be honest, the matches were all like solid this week, but like very few people stood out to me when I was going through to make my list. So
that's totally fair. Yeah.
Number 4, I got Nick Aldis. Everything he did tonight, I love it. I want to see him in a match. Honestly, I think he can. I think he could put on a banger.
Yeah, definitely possible. Definitely.
But number 3, I got Cody Rhodes. Same reasons that we talked about already. Same reasons that the match was so high for me. I'm very excited for whatever's next. I am maybe mistakenly putting my trust in WWE Creative, but it's still there for now. Number 2, the other man who did not wrestle, who carried SmackDown this week, Paul Heyman. Everything you said, basically. Everything, him just like trying to get Carlito with an apple, trying to get Bobby Lashley, the Pretty Deadly. It was just so good.
It was really good. Really good work by Paul this week.
I know. Paul is doing a very good job with the task that he's being handed. That's really what most of my list is this week, is people that are doing their roles really, really well. Which is why at number 1, I have Bayley.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
She didn't win. She's losing control of her faction. And I am so here for it. I've already talked about it. I'm just going to leave it at that. But she is getting the nod this week. So, yeah, that.
Yeah.
I think we'll do it.
Solid list, yeah.
It's different. I tried to think of things more from an outside perspective, I guess. I don't know. I could just be talking out my ass. I still don't know exactly what I'm talking about yet. I've watched a ton of wrestling, but doesn't mean I know what I'm talking about yet. But we're learning together. Well, you're watching me learn what you've already seen for 20 plus years. So
yeah. I'm happy to be along for the ride.
I think that, and not to talk big about myself, I think that I have a very unique level coming into this because I didn't grow up with it. I don't know if that's good or bad, but it's unique.
It's definitely unique. I'll give you that.
But regardless, we will talk to you guys next week. Yes, thank you for anyone who chose to listen. We appreciate you greatly. And we will see you next week in our penultimate week before the Rumble.
Yeah, it's going to be a great show.
Oh, it's going to cook.